Hello, today I'm going to share the first 3 cards that I made using the Crafty Army subscription box. This is the first card and it's called I Love You Lemon Bunches. I've decided to have my card opening like this, and all I've done is stick the base paper on, which is this yellow dotty paper, and then this die cut frame goes on next. I've been following the instructions that I showed you on the screen. The next thing I've done is just shape my flowers, and I'm going to stick those down next. I'm going to start with this big flower here because I think that will give me a point to build around. Now I'm going to use the PVA glue that came with the kit or the box, and just put a bit of glue on there, stick that down about there, just give that time to grip. So I am happy with that. Just turned out quite well. On to card number 2, and this uses a technique that you may not have tried before. Moving on to the second card, which is this one with the lovely die cut card base. And we get these 2 sheets of paper, and that was the one with the tissue paper in and the diamante, plus this stamped image. Now I've read the instructions and it's quite interesting actually, because the tissue paper is to paint the stamped image. You do obviously get the paintbrush in the subscription box as well, and yeah, so you just stick the piece of tissue, well it says onto a plate but I've used a acrylic block, same thing obviously really, and you just wet the tissue a little, and then it picks up the colour, which I think is quite clever. I seem to remember doing something similar to this when I was at school, but yeah, I mean tissue paper was a staple at school. Everything seemed to be made up of tissue paper. So I'm just going to carry on doing this, and I will come back once I have finished colouring the image. Unfortunately my computer had a wobbly fit, so unbeknownst to me I'm merrily colouring in the leaves and the computer froze fit, and then I have to restart it. So yeah, that was a bit unfortunate, but all I've done is colour in the leaves, and using that technique you can get some different colour tones. So that's quite fun. I'll be using that again. And now I'm going to move on to the orange. So I have my acrylic block. I've popped my tissue paper down on it. I've got some water in a pot, and I'm just going to sort of stick it to the block, and also that will draw out the colour. Hopefully you can see that I've managed to create some shading around the centre of those flowers. This one's a bit darker in total. Again, I've got a darker centre on this one. I've left those outside bits white, and this one is more like a peachy colour, but obviously because the centre is tighter, the colour is more concentrated there. And I think I'm going to leave that there and then move on to the next bit. The next part is to take the tissue paper and blot it over the card so you get some of that colour onto the card. So let's see how that goes. Just to make you aware that the wet tissue will stain your skin slightly, so if you're a bit about getting paint or ink or anything yucky on your hands, then you might want to consider wearing a glove. But it was a heck of a lot worse. It's just come off with an ordinary soap and water, so a couple more goes and that'll be off. Right, next is to, I think, now this is an optional bit. You can put one of these sheets inside. Now obviously the pinky purple's not going to go, but I think that this will look quite nice and it reminds me of clouds, so I'm going to put that on the inside. That's now stuck on the inside, and I just need to stick my stamped image on the front, and I think what I might do is stick that on with some foam pads just on the inside circle. Then I have the hooray it's your birthday sentiment. I'm going to add that, I think, with a foam pad as well. Yes, I'm just going to put a foam pad there. These are quite long foam pads, so I'm going to just snip one in half. And there we are, another one done. Card number 3 will be the final card for this video. The other 3 will be in another video, and this card uses Carley Duff's signature collection vintage folk art. I'm going to use the scissors just to give this a bit of a vintage, scrappy, sort of old looking edge. Then I'm going to take the black piece and I'm going to tear it towards me. It will then show the white edge of the inside core. It does actually say to do that on the instructions, and I quite like that look, so I'm going to go with that. And the next piece is going to be the die cut topper with the stamped sentiment. Next is to layer up the dies. Now these can be done in any order, that's what's so fun about these. You can literally have them any way you want because they're that quirky style. They're artistic, not realistic, so you've got really lots of room to have them however you want. I'm just working out how I'm going to arrange the die cut flowers, and because I've made a little bit of a mess with the glue on this one, I'm going to hide that towards the back and nobody will know, hopefully. That's what I really like about these dies, because they are not realistic. You can have them going any way, so you can make up your own flowers and tiny bits and whatever else. It reminds me of sort of exotic flowers and jungle flowers maybe. Okay, so that is another card finished. Thank you for watching the first 3 cards from the Crafty Army subscription box. I will be back with another video in the next couple of days showing the last 3. Until then, cheerio!